Leading the Whitewater Valley into the future of how you get news. The best coverage in the Whitewater Valley from the best news source. Kicks 96 and WHON Video News with Jeff Lane.
Welcome to Kicks 96 and WHON Video News. It's Thursday, March the 20th. I'm Jeff Lane. A convicted Richmond child molester will likely never be free again following his sentencing yesterday afternoon. 58-year-old Phil Bickle was sentenced in Wayne Superior Court 2 to a total of 70 years in prison. About 20 supporters of Bickle's two victims were in court yesterday to hear both of them testify about how Bickle's molestation changed their lives forever. Judge Gregory Horn sentenced Bickle to serve his sentences on 3 of 4 counts consecutively, saying that the acts were clearly separate and distinct. In questioning, Deputy Prosecutor William Holscher asked Bickle why he resigned from the Richmond Police Department back in 1983 and indicated that it was because Bickle had been accused then of molesting a 15-year-old Richmond police cadet. Bickle will be 93 when and if he ever gets out of jail. He said yesterday that he's planning an appeal. Another sentencing. 2 convicted Preble County murderers were sentenced yesterday afternoon. Adam Scott and Pamela Henry appeared in court after being convicted of causing the death of Timothy Johnson last year at a farm just north of Eaton. Johnson was murdered, stuffed into a 55-gallon drum, and then set on fire. Scott pled guilty in a plea agreement earlier this year. Henry was convicted by a Preble County jury earlier this month. Yesterday, both Scott and Henry were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. Henry will be in her early 70s when she first goes before a parole board. Henry addressed the court before her sentence, saying that she hated the victim. Several members of all 3 families were in the courtroom for the sentencing. Local business leaders were updated on the progress of the Really Cool Foods project at a meeting of the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce yesterday. Really Cool CEO Bob Clamp was on hand to speak about the project, which is eventually expected to employ 1,000 people. Clamp said that other new projects at the Gateway Industrial Park on State Road 1 at I-70 helped convince him that Wayne County would be a good location.
We drove down a dirt road and we passed Dot Foods, and then we passed Taconic Farms, and it was a very nicely laid out facility at Gateway. And from that we said, oh, this is pretty good.
At 1,000 people, Really Cool would become one of the county's top 3 employers. But local businessman Eric Van Vliet said the project is even bigger than that because of the spinoff and support companies it will create.
More opportunities for our people in Wayne County to find good, productive, well-paying jobs. So we're excited about not only Really Cool Foods, but also the additional jobs they might bring in through vendors, supporters, people who provide services.
Construction of the first phase of the project is expected to be complete by the end of the summer. And floodwaters are receding today, but numerous county roads are still closed in the southern portions of the Whitewater Valley. Union, Fayette, and Franklin counties are all reporting numerous road closures. Some of the more heavily traveled roads include the south end of Pennville Road in Fayette County, State Route 121 north of Laurel, and the Yankeetown Bridge in Union County. This is how the Yankeetown Bridge area looked yesterday. In southern Franklin County, the Whitewater River went out of its banks and forced an evacuation near New Trenton. The immediate Richmond area received just over 3.5 inches of rain. Here's water pouring over the rain-swollen dam on Elks Road. Some areas south of State Route 44 got about 4 inches. River flood warnings remain in effect today for Randolph and Henry counties. This has been Kicks 96 and WHON Video News. I'm Jeff Lane. Have a great day.
Leading the Whitewater Valley into the future of how you get news. The best coverage in the Whitewater Valley from the best news source. Kicks 96 and WHON Video News with Jeff Lane.